Good morning. It is Sunday, February 26th. It's been a while since I showed my face. I want to tell you the story of how Jesus changed my life. I don't think I have ever fully shared that story. I mean, you who watch these videos know that I am a follower of Jesus because it's in my description and it is in videos. I love the Word of God. I love reading the Word of God. I love speaking the Word of God. I love sharing the Word of God in videos. And yeah, but I don't know if I've ever really told the story of how and when God miraculously changed my life. I mean, maybe I have. I think I started to tell the story mixed in with hiking videos, but let's give God glory and tell the story of His amazing grace. I was blind, and now I see. There's a word that has been making the rounds in social media for several years now, and the word is deconstruction. And you hear it from quote-unquote Christian people who wake up suddenly, and maybe not even suddenly. Sometimes it's sudden, sometimes it's a slow spiral down, but basically people wake up and think to themselves, is there really a God? Do I really believe all those things? Was Jesus a real person? Was he God as he claimed to be? And this doesn't just happen in Christianity. I believe people that belong to other religions, this happens to everybody in all religions, where one day you wake up and you think to yourself, is this really real? Is this really true? Or is somebody feeding me lies? And so I'm gonna be 60 years old this year, and my story of what I think was deconstruction began when I was 16 years old. I had grown up going to church, believing God was real, believing Jesus was real, loving them, but I never had a relationship. I never pursued God or Jesus in my mind. I just loved him based on what people taught me about him. But I didn't really know him, if that makes sense. I knew God and Jesus the way I know what I know about celebrities. I believe they're real people, and I believe who they are based on what I see on a screen and how they portray themselves. But then you pick up an autobiography and you find out that they're actually three-dimensional people, and you realize that, oh, they are not who you thought they were. And sometimes that's okay, but other times it's really disappointing. And I'm sure that's what my relationship with God was like at that time in my life. So then, when I was 16, my 45-year-old father had a massive heart attack. And 6 months later, he died. He was having open heart surgery, and he did not survive the surgery. And my relationship with my mother at that time, in my mind, was not good at all. I truly thought she did not love me. And I sort of thought my dad did love me, and he was the only one who did love me of my parents. And so when he died, I walked away. I deconstructed. I told God, I don't think you're real. I think you killed my dad on purpose and left me here with a parent who doesn't love me. I will never speak to you again. And that was that. I completely turned away from God and struck out on my own from there into a wilderness. I walked in that wilderness for 26 years, looking for the real truth, the real God, a real God, convinced that something in the wilderness had to be true, had to be real. And I don't know if you would call that 26 years a reconstruction. I don't think I would call it that. I think it is more like how the Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years until they came to the Promised Land. I wandered in a wilderness for 26 years until I came to the Promised Land. So if you do the math, that's 42 years before I made it to my Jordan River. If you're not familiar with the Bible, you can read about those things in the book of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And Deuteronomy is finally when the people of Israel get to the Jordan River and prepare to cross into the Promised Land. I'm going to stop here because it's a long story. It's a good story. I'm so thankful for the life that I have. And I hope you'll come back for the next part. Thanks for watching. See you next time.